Hello and welcome to Titanium Talar's Tarot. Alright, so today I will be doing a spread for my Aquariuses. Okay, now I will start off by pulling cards from the Raidlech. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, but I know that the GH makes a sound, so Raidlech. Very is Raidlech Valentine's Fairy Tarot deck. Then I will be clarifying that by Brian Froud's Fairy Oracle deck. Alright, it's pretty, ties up with a little bow. And so let's get into your cards, shall we? Yes, let's. Excuse me. Oh my. Excuse me again. Right, so this is for the month of July, by the way. For the month of July. Beginning of July. Okay, what should my Aquariuses expect for the month of July? So what should my Aquariuses expect for the month of July? What should my Aquariuses expect for the month of July? No. Stop it. Stay where you are. Good. So what should my Aquariuses expect for the month of July? You know what came to mind? There's this movie that came out this year on Netflix. Is he an Aussie? The main actor. Oh, there we have it. Aussie. Oscar. Okay, that came to mind. He's cute. But anyway. Right, so the first card out is the Seven of Winter. Interesting choice. You have many choices in front of you. Well, Seven of Winter, Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, which is generally the guy who steals swords. Anyway. What else can my Aquariuses expect for the month of July? The second card out is the High Priestess. Okay, for you guys, what else can my Aquariuses expect for the month of July? What else can my Aquariuses expect for the month of July? Right, month of July. What else can my... There we have it. We have the Four of Winter, which is the Four of Swords. Oh, and then there's another one. Four of Winter. And the Release. Libras had this in the reverse. Yeah. Okay, so that is it for this. Now, please clarify. Please clarify. Okay, let me place my cards right. Okay. Please clarify the Seven of Winter. 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 There we have it. It is clarified by... Where'd you go? Fuck. Liberty. Shit. Excuse me. There you are. Excuse me. Seven of Winter. He's coming. No, I think it's the other way around. No. Nay. Yes. Excuse me. I was talking to myself right there. Okay, so the Seven of Winter. God, what is wrong with my ears? So, the Seven of Winter is clarified by Nellis the Alchemist. Okay. Then the High Priestess. Please clarify 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 the High Priestess. I'm just making myself laugh right now. Please clarify the High Priestess. There we have it. High Priestess is clarified by the Rar. Rar. I'm so funny to myself. And you know what? There's no better person to be funny for, because what you learn at some point in your life is that you can't make other people happy if they don't want to be. So who gives a shit? If they want to be all negative and sourpusses, let them. But the only person you can definitely control, whose mood you can definitely control, is yourself, your own. So the key here is making yourself laugh. Even if other people don't understand you, it doesn't really matter. You know what? I have people staring at me awkwardly every single time I go to my... didn't want to come out. I feel like sometimes I do stuff that are weird, but to me it's just normal. It's just the norm. Oh, there we have it. So the Four of Winter is clarified by the Piper. Then please clarify release. Yes. So it really doesn't matter what people think of you, as long as you think highly of yourself. It doesn't really matter. No. And believe me, for all the people that think I'm not very important or who think I'm weird, I have so many other people who are proud of me. who are proud of what I've accomplished in my life, who are proud that I've gone so far. Because I don't know if I said this to you guys, probably haven't, but I was in a car accident a couple of years ago, and most people have seen me like right after, who have seen me right after, and who see me now are surprised, but because it was like day and night, like literally day and night. I could not string two words together without it being like an effort, right? A thinking effort, and it showed. I walked funny, I talked funny, I thought funny, everything. It was like I was back to square one. So always remember that for every person that is not impressed, there is always someone who is proud of you. Okay? So don't worry about what people think. People are going to think what they're going to think. All the time. Always. Don't mind them. Don't. Okay. Just don't. To clarify. Oh, yeah. 3 cards. Ta-da! Okay. To clarify, we have the Singer of Transfiguration. Okay. We have Luminous Doom. I'll show you guys in a bit. And then we have the Dark Lady. Alright, so first we start off with the 7 of Swords, which means there is a better choice. Not seeing things clearly, running away from the truth. Okay, this card in this deck is the 7 of Swords in normal tarot. 7 of Swords, if I can see it, is someone stealing 7 swords and not doing the right thing, which is why they say there is a better choice in this one. And that is the Alchemist. Is a card clarifying it. That'd be fair. Okay. The Alchemist, inner transformation, irrevocable change. So because of your indecision, because of the fact that you have a little difficulty choosing, you are going to be transforming into something better. Okay, which is followed by High Priestess. Trusting your intuition, careful reflection before taking action, insights that come through meditation. And this transformation will lead you to a higher intuition, a higher capability of like cognitive knowing, right? Which will lead to the RAR. I'm just being silly. Life is short. It's too short to be too serious. You got to be a little silly. Makes it fun. Of course, there's always a time and place, but right now, this is time to be silly. Alright, RAR. Wild energy, pure potential. Right? Because you are trusting more of your intuition, you have gone back to purity of your thoughts, the pure, whatever you get, you're following whatever you're getting from the universe, and you are not getting bogged down by unimportant stuff. like what other people are going to think, what are other people saying, and all those things. And set aside your concerns. So that leads to the Four of Winter, which is for the Four of Swords, which is in normal tarot, it's someone taking a breather, taking some time alone to reflect. Set aside your concerns for now. You can make a decision later. Solutions that come from meditation, the need for more sleep, or a vacation. So the fact that your intuition is on point brings you to know that, and because you are like acting out on pure intuition, you get that it's time for you to like sit down and think about what has been going on in your life and really reflect on the past to get the best situation out of it. Then you have the Piper. The Piper is music, order, harmony, seduction, empathy. So because of the fact that you went inside and you thought about it and you put things into perspective for yourself, you are then becoming seductive. You are then becoming in your power. You are then becoming in order of yourself. Yes, I think that was it, right? Order and seduction. Because being in front of someone who knows where they're going is very sexy, to say the least. Music, order, harmony, seduction, and empathy. Yes. So you are seducing someone because you have gained control over yourself. If you're not seducing someone else, you're seducing yourself. You are becoming infatuated with yourself, as in you are gaining your self-love again. You are loving yourself for who you are. You are understanding where you come from. That is a very key component to anybody, right? Then we have release. Okay. Let go of the past, an ending that makes way for new opportunities. Time to move on. Okay. So this is saying that you are going through something, that you are moving up to the next level of maturity. That is beautiful, because this is what I like to see, right? I like to see endings so that something new can start again. And this, in a certain sense, could be considered on the same key level as the Death card. Yes. But the Death card, I only see as positive because you are moving forward. I mean, yes, okay. If we think in terms of actual physical death, you physically die. But if you have any inkling, if you follow any like spiritual thought pattern or anything, even Christians, I'm a Christian, okay? Even for Christians, okay, when you die, your spirit does not die. It goes up to heaven. Okay, and it goes up to heaven to meet God and all that. And the funny thing, very funny thing, while I was getting ready for this next reading, I kind of let myself, I kind of let my thoughts like get ahead of myself. I talk to myself in the sense of I just let my thoughts out. Right, and the thought that came out was what happened to me like a couple of months ago, which was in March. I think in March, I was walking around in my house, and all of a sudden I saw like this cloud of shimmering dust. Okay, and I listened to like. To Abraham Hicks, or should I say Esther Hicks, who channels Abraham. And in it, at some point, they're like, we're, it's good to be, they normally say it's good to be in the physical shoes and here to talk to you and whatnot. It's not the specific wording, but at some point in one of their videos, they're like talking about good, thank God you can see us, because usually we're nebulous mist. And I was like, I wonder if the nebulous mist that Abraham was referring to is like the clouds, the nebulous mists in like space. And I was like, connection, oh my God. I was like, hell yes, that means that heaven is in space. And it's just that we can't see, we can't perceive them as souls because they have transcended and they have become part of fifth dimension. I know this might be very like out there and very woohoo for you guys, but think about it. When you die, your body is gone to the earth, but you as a soul live on. You as a soul live on, which means that you transcend, you evolve, you change form into this into this nebulous mist. So I know some people see like their family, their ancestors and ghosts differently. The way I saw them, because I am a part of a couple of like light workers group. I'm a part of a light workers group, and so when that happened, I went directly to my group and I was like, okay, this happened, please tell me what I just saw, because if it's a ghost and it's a bad ghost, then what the hell should I do? So they calmed me down. They're like, no, Todd, we checked in and that was just family members who were just checking in on you. And they were actually surprised that you saw them. And I was like, okay. I was like, whoa. My mind was getting blown in billions of pieces, because I was like, my first encounter with people who have crossed over, and also that understanding of like what Abraham is, what like space mist is, and like I was like, holy shit. But that also kind of explains why, we don't necessarily see them on this plane, because they move on and they move on to space where we can't live normally, but that's neither here nor there. Closing the parentheses now. So you release something, you learn something, you grow, and that in turn is clarified by the Singer of Transformation in the reverse, which we will see what that actually means, and the Luminous Doom. Okay, the upright, and the Dark Lady in the upright. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. You never know. See, that's why I keep this book handy. Okay, the Singer of Transformation, transcendence, metamorphosis. Okay, because you are releasing stuff. Okay, this makes no sense. I'm gonna put this upright because damn. Excuse me. I'm going to put it upright because it makes absolutely no sense in the reverse. Okay, so you transform, you move forward. Okay. And if anything, Well, gloominess, doom, and look at it. It's like, look at the plants are like crying for help, and it's like he's on a dead fish. And even him, he's like, he's like sad and weary. But because of this evolution of like release and transcendence, there's always this, life is a cycle, right? So you go from the cycle of, if we think of the cycle of emotion, okay, so first you would be like, you like bad emotions, you need to go through the bad emotions to get to the good emotions. So you are being enlightened, well, in the sense of you're being enlightened, but with the ideas of like the conspiracy theorists a little bit, because you have outgrown stuff, so you can see things more clearly, right? So you unfortunately get to a situation where you're like, oh no, all this blah blah, and oh, my life is shit, why are they doing this to us, blah blah blah. And it's, let me tell you, okay, just calm down, it's a part of life. I went through that too, you know, and it happens to every one of us. We need to go through this shit. Okay, if you guys ever listen to Aaron Doughty, I very much suggest. This year he started talking about spiral dynamics and how we move up the scale during our lifetime and we evolve. So it's, you start at the bottom, which is really like minimal things like security, food, and that kind of thing, and then we move up slowly but surely, and there are like stages, and all these stages have colors. Now every color, when you transcend a color, you transcend a level. But like these, because it's like a cycle, it takes time, right? So there's the beginning of the cycle where this, okay, every level is like a spiral. So at the beginning of the spiral, you need to go through like an initiation phase where things seem gloomy, doomy, and where everything is like negative or negative. And then you move up to a better feeling, and then you move back into that negative feeling, and then you move back into the positive feeling, and then you move back into the negative. So I mean, it's just how life goes. You just follow this cycle and you learn every single spiral. You learn and you transcend, you learn and you transcend, you learn, you hate, you transcend, and blah blah blah, right? So that's what it is. You've learned something new, you've transcended, you've released. Now because you've released, you've started the new transition phase, which is you sort of hate stuff. You are kind of against it, so you kind of have like resistance to it. And the resistance leads to depression, which then leads to the Dark Lady, which is, to my understanding, it's intuition, right? Being intuitively guided, listening, unconscious power and wisdom, rituals, mysterious secrets. Yes. So there you have it. You go through all this to finally end up with this. You have power, you have unconscious abilities, which then need to become conscious. Well, first they are conscious, but then because here we have unconscious abilities, they are like so ingrained in you that you don't even think about it. So this could be at the beginning where you don't even know that it's happening because you are so like above it all that it is like ingrained in you, in your personality, so you don't even think of it, it's just normal for you. Or this could be that it is subconscious because you have done it so often that it is part of your being and you don't even think anymore. It's just natural. You do one to the other to the other. It's like when I say one to the other, as in it's just normal for you. You don't even think it happens. Like for example, when you start implementing a new habit at the beginning, it's going to be difficult because it's going to be, you're not even know, okay, if you how you implement a habit, right? You start by like realizing that it's, you don't even know about it. So when you learn something new, you then all of a sudden become conscious that you're okay, let me reframe. When you don't know, you don't know because you're like, I don't know this stuff. Why? This comes back to the normal cycle of life, which is when you're a child, you don't know how to tie your shoelaces. You don't know that you don't know how to tie your shoelaces. So it's perfectly normal, right? Then you move up, then you learn how to tie your shoelaces. Then you are conscious that you do not know how to tie your shoelaces. So that would be the knowing. That would be, so the first step is knowing, not knowing that you don't know. Then it's moving up to knowing that you don't know, which is that you are starting a new habit of learning how to tie your shoelaces. Then you consciously need to practice how to tie your shoelaces, and that is knowing that you know. But for that time, right, it's like you have to like tell yourself how to tie your shoelaces to really get a hang of it. Like, okay, right or left, and swirl it and turn it inside and do the knot and blah blah blah. And then you've done it so often that it becomes unconscious competence. You know that it's become so ingrained in you that you don't even think about it. Like at my age, knowing how to tie a shoelace is completely normal. You just don't even have to think about it. You just do it. Blah. It's done. Right? That's what it is, basically. So this is kind of the release. You are releasing what you've transcended, you're moving up to a new level, which brings you back down to this, but this was in the reverse at the beginning. So there's no transformation, there's no going forward. This, because at this stage you are at the level of not knowing that you don't know something new. Okay, so you're learning something new, and with the learning of something new, you're kind of, oh, I need to go through this shit again. I need to learn new things. I need to work at it. I need to put in the time and effort to actually learn it. It's like gloom and doom. Ugh, why? Type of thing. Sorry for my antics. And then you become so used to it. You become so good at doing it that you transcend it. It has become part of your unconscious of doing it. All right? Well, that was an interesting turn of event. Did you see how I turned this upright and then down again? Whoa. So, see, my method of therapy, or my way of understanding things, is talking it out. It's always been that way. I need to talk it out. I usually do it by myself, to myself. So if you ever catch me talking to myself, kind of like, that's just my way of coming to terms with what I am given as an information. So some people just get lost into space. I need to talk aloud. I need to hear myself think. I need to do that. That's just my process. Sorry if you don't like it, but that's my process. I think better when I talk it through. So thank you for watching me to the end. All right. And that is what I have for this week. I hope you guys got what you needed out of it. And that is all for this week. And I hope to see you next time. And until then, have an amazing week. And I'll see you next time. I'm repeating myself. Anyway, bye.